Proven testing, be a blessing. Earn blessing, always learn a lesson. Got a pet, better keep a pet, and the sky's the limit.
So first thing I'm doing, I guess, disconnect the connector for the mass airflow sensor and move that off to the side. Then I'm unscrewing the boot, like the intake boot coming off of the turbo. I'm going to take the whole, want to take that off, along with the whole air box, like the housing, the whole assembly pretty much. That's going to be removed, and once we remove that, you'll see how much room we have, even though we still got some stuff to take off, but at least you see what I'm talking about. There's another hose at the bottom of the intake, the air box, so pay attention to that, and don't be breaking nothing. So as you can see right here, I got the light pointing at shiny. That's where the water pump at. That top pulley, the first pulley, that's the water pump right there. We got an engine mount in the way. It's a two-piece engine mount. So we're gonna take the engine mount off first. It's held in with it's one nut and two bolts in there. Sizes is one size, 15 millimeter. And after we remove the mount, you're gonna remove the bracket itself. Now the bracket is held in by three 18 millimeter bolts, and just put my bolts, line them up in a specific area or whatever, like how I like to do. But normally, sometimes I mix them up, but I be knowing where everything go. But I have my own organization pretty much. So I did point out the bolts, three 18 millimeter, that's the size, and get that out so you are able to sneak in there. That bottom one, you see how I got my 3/8 ratchet, and I was able just to get in there just like that. I was able, when I was going back on tightening it, I was able to get electric 3/8 ratchet in there to make the process a lot faster. So to each his own. So moving the backing it out by hand, and while I'm doing that, I'm gonna go ahead and light up my L. Y'all know how I do with my voiceover. It don't even have to be a voiceover, but it's just me, period. If I got a blaze, I'm blazing. It is what it is. Hold on, let me take my puff too. Alright, so I'm still working on the bolt. So let me take my puff. I'm glad I got ahead of the game, so that way I could just take my puff. Hold on. Alright. Still ratcheted. Hold on, let me take another drag. Hold on. You know the first pull of the L, like that joint be everything. That's like that pull you can't get back, even if you paid for it. You feel me? Alright, so here's my electric ratchet. Now I whipped it out, and I'm going to take off the top ones because I got the top two bolts free, but I guess it's too long, so I didn't feel like ratcheting that much. So yeah, I'm gonna back them out with a electric ratchet. I'm not sure if they put Loctite on it or something, but I felt like I was ratcheting for a minute. It could have been just me. It is what it is. Hold on, let me take another puff. So this whole belt, I left the bolts in there. That's the bracket. I left the bolts in that. And you'll see how much room we got now. So the only thing I gotta do, well, not the only thing, next, I'm gonna use an inverted torque, or I guess you can use a 12 point socket. I forget the size, but you're gonna release the tension off the belt tensioner and move your belt out the way. You don't have to take the belt completely out, but just move it out the way. So all you gotta do is just slap it over one or two pulleys and you Gucci, you on. So just peep how I move my belt off to the side, and I'm gonna, the three bolts for the water pump pulley is I forget. I got inverted torques, so that's what I was using. I forget the sizes. You're gonna have to figure out that, or figure out which 12 point you're gonna use. Probably it could be like a size 11, 12 point. I don't know. I could be wrong. So I'm using an air ratchet to take them off because they literally just zip off instead of I really don't have to hold on to the pulley or get like the pulley locked up. So that way I can take them off and just using the electric ratchet, the air ratchet, it just zoom off just like that. So make sure you get your bolts and stuff organized. I got, you know what I mean? Next I'm looking at the bolts and I'm peeping how many bolts, but more so I guess I'm going to take off, it's two hoses on the side of the water pump. Guess one of them got like a clip. All you got to do is lift it up with a, you know how the BMW style got like that clip on the cooling hose. Just lift up on a clip and then it'll pull straight off. You don't have to take the clip completely out. The clip just make it more easier for it to come on and off easily. Just a quick connect. And then there is another hose all the way in the back, so I'm undoing that right now. The back of the water pump, you could leave that hose on there and then try to separate it once the water pump is removed, but you know what I mean, to each his own. Cat can get skinned a million and one ways, so just because somebody got their way of doing it don't mean you got to do it that way. You do it the way you want to do it. So back in the there's a little clamp that, you know, adjustable clamp joint. And like I said, it was a pain in the ass. I had to end up getting like a screwdriver and a pry bar to see if I could kind of like pry it off or wedge it off just a little bit. But you know, sometimes you can sneak with a pair of pliers and rotate the hose just to get it to move. That trick didn't even work, and I didn't want to damage anything, so I ended up fighting with it, getting it off. And once I got it off, I had to like trim it down some. It had a hole in it or whatever. It is what it is. You can see me fighting with it, but I didn't really show too much like in the footage. But there's the pry bar I was telling you about, and yeah, just using that. Use the pry bar to like wedge it, more so like push it off. Just, I don't know, for some reason it gave me a hard time that it shouldn't. I don't understand, but I guess I was able to get it off on this one. If I could look closer, 'cause it looked like it's like almost coming off. And any second now, I guess I ain't paid attention to this part when I was like editing the video. Hold on, let me take my puff, y'all. Hold on. Yeah, I got it off, and you can see I'm like looking at it, inspecting it, because it had like a little hole, little slit in it, and then it was like swelled up. Not swelled up at that point, but it looked like somebody might have beat it up before or something. I don't know. It is what it is. So, next I'm taking off the screws for the water pump. Now, pay attention to this. I mean, you probably already see once you start taking them off. There are 3 different size bolts. From my knowledge, there are 3 different size bolts. It's probably, I don't remember the amount of bolts around the water pump, but I know there are 3 different sizes, and each bolt has its own depth. So make sure you pay attention to that, because you don't want to put a long bolt that goes into like a hole that's for a short bolt, and you keep rotting it down, and then you crack something in the inside, and it's not a good thing. So make sure the bolt goes in correctly. You got to pay attention to it, because on the outside it could cap you up and mess up with your head. But you'll know something ain't right when basically when you're trying to screw it in by hand, and you be like, why is this sticking out too much, or why is this bolt going all the way in and I can't thread it in? Because you put a short bolt.
All content is
and
possible.
that's for in a hole that goes for like a long bolt. So that could be, you know, your issue. So I guess I'm finishing taking off the rest of the bolts. Look all the way around the water pump, or even pull out the new one and then count how many holes in the water pump, and then compare it to the water pump on a car, just so you get an idea how many bolts you got to take off. So I didn't burn my hand, not paying attention, looking, you know, my finger was touching the L and the L was lit. So I guess I'm working with one more bolt, because I was trying to pry it, and I'm like, what's still on there? So there was one more inverted torque. So you see how that came off. Really simple, really easy. Follow the video, you're gonna be Gucci. So I'm Leekautorepair. Make sure you hit the like button, make sure you subscribe, and look out for the next how-to video.